Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing something a little different. I have got not tiny homes. It is 4 rather large homes that are inspired by the 4 Hogwarts houses from Harry Potter. So I am very excited about doing this today. It is only 2 of them being decorated, not built. The first part of my video was cut. It just disappeared on me at some point. So I am excited to go into this and do the decorating for these 2 houses, and then I'll continue it with the other 2 in the next video. And I hope you enjoy, and if you are liking the content, it would really help if you would like and subscribe. So let's get into it. Okay, let's get into it. So it would have been nice if I could have started with the build, however, it did not record. So I have already done the builds, and I have actually already started a few of the rooms, but they didn't record. So I figured I might as well just start where I'm at. This one, I only have the 1 bathroom and the kitchen done. So we're going to start with the dining room. This is obviously, if you couldn't tell, the Gryffindor house. And the traits for Gryffindor are courage, bravery, determination, and chivalry. And their colors are this deep red and gold. So I really wanted to embrace that for the house, because this is just a loosely inspired house. It's not, you know, gonna represent everything for them. They are typically known as leaders, but can also be impulsive and reckless. Really, I mean, it's just gonna be a house where they can be themselves. So I wanted to really keep with the color theme and just make it fun. I did go into the gallery to find some images that I could use throughout the house for the house, for each Hogwarts house. I was able to find some decent images. I'm only using a few here, and I think it just brings it in a little bit to where you can kind of feel like this is what it is if you couldn't already tell. I initially started this as being tiny homes, thinking that's what I was doing, and yeah, no, not even a little bit. These are massive, huge houses. Gryffindor is actually going to end up with 5 bedrooms. There's no real logic behind it or anything. That's just how many rooms I ended up with. 2 bathrooms, 5 bedrooms, 2 bath in the Gryffindor house. Each one is going to be a little bit different. This video will show you the first 2 houses, which will be Gryffindor and Hufflepuff. The next video will be for Ravenclaw and Slytherin. I really wanted to also incorporate like a really nice cozy spot for people to relax. If anybody is living in this house or staying here, that they just have somewhere nice to relax. So I bring in the fireplace, the bookshelf, and some nice sofas just to make it a fun place. Obviously, a lot of Sims could live here, so I'm just gonna let the build kind of speak for itself here. Also, just chiming in, I can be really indecisive when it comes to building, which is why I haven't done any build videos up to this point. But I figured I was kind of loving this already. I am a huge Potterhead, love Harry Potter. I love to read, and this was something I read a long time ago, and it's still near and dear. So I really just wanted to almost practice building. It's not something I ever did a ton of, and this is the first like very intentional build that I did with a theme in mind, and I don't know why it got so blurry there. That was weird. To where I just really had something in mind that I was using going into. And this may be more of a theme going forward with different ideas. If anybody has any ideas or anything you'd like to see. I know sometimes different people have different takes on things, so they can be very different. But this is something I have a passion for. So I really just wanted to do it for fun. So enjoy. So I will also say that you would think that after recording and finding out it did not record, I would be better about saving and checking all my settings, but I did not save. And when I get the bottom floor of this house done, my game crashed and I lost everything I did in here. I did my best to come back and look at the visuals of this recording to rebuild it, and so it's mostly the same. I think there may be a couple nuances that are a little different if you notice them, but yeah, it completely crashed, and this was a lot of work. Thankfully, knowing what I was putting in made it a little bit faster going in and redoing it, but still took a ton of time. So just a friendly reminder to save periodically, although now we do have the autosave feature, so that may have saved me. But yeah, that was not fun to rebuild. So this side of the house is kind of like a little game area. I'm going to come in with a desk and give them a computer, just to have an area where they're all hanging out together. They can be having fun. They can be doing different things. They could be in the kitchen. They could be eating. They could be watching TV, reading a book, playing chess, playing a game on the computer. Just, they have so many different options to just be in like this general base floor of the house. And I kind of love that. So we're going to get to the one bedroom downstairs in just a few minutes. I did remember that we had wands and had to include a wand. Just, you know, little fun accent piece here. I don't know why this is getting so blurry. That's so strange. I'm kind of floored. It was not this blurry earlier. But maybe in the playback it won't be and it's just on my screen. But this one, there was just way too much going on to actually do voiceover while I was doing it. And the initial video was like 2.5 hours long at least. So Obviously had to cut that down a bit just to make it a little easier to watch. It's still a fairly long video for 2 of these massive houses to be built, and I shouldn't say built, decorated, because the build did not record, but it was a lot of fun. Just adding in all the accent pieces and building in a different style than I'm used to. I usually just try to build what I need, and I've never even been a clutterer, and that is happening. I'm loving it and just playing around with different things and custom content and just honestly having fun with it. So I hope this build is fun for you also, and I'm just going to let this play through for a little longer. So for this first downstairs bedroom, I ended up going with kind of the canopied bed like you would see in the movies. I wanted to try to incorporate some of those things that are more iconic that people remember. And here I can't decide what I want to do. There's the indecisiveness. I'm sure a lot of other people relate when you have just choices and you just can't figure out how you want it to look. But I didn't use these beds for all of the rooms. I think I did one other with a canopy bed, but I really just wanted to try to incorporate it a little bit. So I went with it for the downstairs room, and pretty soon we'll get upstairs. And here we go with some of the clutter downstairs, just adding some fun little touches to liven up the space, make it look lived in. Just fun. Does everyone else clutter? Was I just like off and missing out on this? Because I love it, but at the same time, I love it, but there's so many choices, especially when you start getting into custom content and getting lost in it, honestly. I just never did it before. I just put the basics there and didn't even worry about it, and it's so boring. This is just so much more fun, and I'm loving it. So I hope you enjoy seeing it and someone else's take on it that hasn't always done it this way, and learning along as we go. So another thing with this build is I honestly really didn't cut anything out except for interruptions when I had to stop and maybe just miss this one right here. But honestly, I just kind of wanted to put together, obviously it's very sped up, but I just wanted to put it out there how long some of these builds can actually take. I spent far more time than I expected on just 2 of these houses, so I really need to work on my speed with it and just not being so indecisive, because man, the amount of time this took was unreal. As you can see, we're already almost 20 minutes in, super sped up, and I haven't even gone upstairs yet, so Now we're upstairs and I'm just going to design out the rooms. We're going to give ourselves a bathroom up here. I wanted it to feel semi-dorm room-ish, but not quite. I didn't want to have like the dorm style bathrooms or anything. I wanted it to feel more like a house, but also a dorm, I guess, if that makes any sense at all. And then I'm pretty sure this is right about where we got cut out, or it already happened. I think I did a pretty good. Nope, there's my. This is where I crashed and came back and had to redo a bunch of this stuff. So I came in and just started trying to build out the upstairs because I finally got the downstairs looking kind of where it was. We end up with 4 rooms up here and 1 bathroom. And just kind of keeping along with the same theme. I wanted each room to be very distinct and different. And that was just kind of one of those things where I just wanted each room to have a little bit of personality and feel like a different space. So you'll see what we end up with. So I ended up getting a little bit sidetracked with the building and hopped on over to the Hogwarts house. As you can see here, we do have a kitchen and bathroom also. Kind of like before, I just jump over. My video may have cut also, but we're gonna start with Hufflepuff. Hufflepuff is defined by loyalty, patience, hard work, and fairness. The members are humble, inclusive, and dedicated. They value teamwork and moral integrity, and they're known for perseverance and completing their things. Their house symbol's the badger with colors yellow and black. So I really wanted to, again, keep with that theme, and they're also typically known for herbology and being around plants. So I gave them a little greenhouse downstairs instead of a bedroom. So they will only have 4 rooms upstairs because of this little greenhouse, but I think that was a fun little touch for this one. So it is a similar style, but just a tad different, and the whole room has so much different personality. I love how it just shows through that it's for a completely different type of person. There's just a different vibe. So far this one's coming along a bit faster. I think I kind of got the hang of what I was looking for in the vibes. So this one goes along just a little bit faster. So I went with another gaming table for Hufflepuff and then also the game console. Just, I feel like they would be more that they like to spend time together and just play and have fun and, just that type of vibe for me is where I was lending. So there's a few more touches that are going to be added down here, and then soon we'll head upstairs. I also kind of thought it would be fun to give them a little pet. So I added in, I think it's the hamster fun tainment whatever cage for them. And looks like I hadn't finished the bathroom either. So we get a little bit of the bathroom there. And then I just thought they'd be ones to kind of care for an animal. So added that in there for them. And just a few touches, and I feel like every time I move things around, I end up touching some of the landscaping outside and moving that. I might wait to do that until I'm done next time, but I did all the landscaping beforehand, and it's just almost kind of getting in the way, but just adding in some lights, and I think this room's just about done, and I don't know if you're getting the blur that I'm seeing, but this blur is kind of driving me crazy because it was not like this. But if you are seeing it, I'm so sorry. I will figure out what's happening. It may just be the speed that I sped it up to because it wasn't initially there. But I really wanted to light this up and give it some good lighting because I just feel like that works for Hufflepuff. Okay, and we're finally upstairs, and we are going to have 4 rooms up here as well, like the last one. Gave them the little foosball table upstairs because they have kind of an open area up here, so I wanted to have another gathering area for them and a small little balcony and a smaller bathroom. It's not quite as large as the Gryffindor upstairs bathroom, but I want to match the the hallway to the downstairs area. And the yellow, I struggle with the yellow. I thought I was going to struggle with the red, but I think I struggled more with the yellow and just trying to get the right shade and tone, and brought in one of those canopy beds again, at least one, just to give that vibe. And I felt like I needed at least one double bed in each house, so trying to go with that too. I thought about doing kind of a bunk bed style, but decided against it. But the wallpaper for yellow, I just was not feeling it. I don't know if anyone else has struggled with yellow, but this one, just even with the custom content, I just wasn't feeling anything. So I eventually decided on stuff, but you'll see how it ends up. So I finally kind of decided on colors and wallpapers and started going in with the curtains, and I'm kind of regretting shrinking some of these like I did. I should have just left them full wall size, but I was not going back. So we just kind of went with it and went with the smaller versions versus, the full wall. So we do a little bit here where I was like, well, maybe I should just go full wall, but it works. It's fine. So, we're getting close to getting some of the clutter done and giving them some computers up here and desk work areas, because after all, Hogwarts are students. So kids at Hogwarts are students is what I should say. But just trying to give it some life and homey feel, and we'll see what you think. I also liked adding the touch of the candles in this one, since that's kind of a big theme in the actual movies with the candles everywhere. So I really kind of had fun with that one, and it feels like both houses have at least one room that feels a little sportier, like with this bright yellow one here in the right bottom corner. I feel like it's actually in the same spot in both houses where there's a little bit sportier feel to both of those, even though this has like the fancier canopy bed. It's not fancy. That it's just got that vibe of, Maybe it's one of their Quidditch players that are in those rooms. So every room has kind of a different vibe, and I just really like that. So I hope you do too. But we'll get back to it. I also really wanted to kind of incorporate the whole herbology plant vibe in the rooms upstairs and give them some greenery. Even though the colors don't quite go with it, it just matches the vibe, and so I had to kind of go with that. So we're adding in some skill items and the greenery and a little telescope outside on the balcony. It's a much smaller balcony than the Gryffindor one, but it still works. Gives them another skill item. A little soccer ball in the community area. Just some fun for them. And went with, the little bubble thing that I can't remember what it's called now. They're kind of chill, so I thought that may work with the Hufflepuff vibe, and it was yellow, so it worked. And I'm pretty sure once we finish this bathroom, we'll get on with the tours. right, here we go on our tour. Please bear with me. I really tried on this, but I've never done a tour video, so this is my first. I really tried to work with the camera, but it did not want to work with me. So we've got our kitchen, dining, entryway, our game area is what we're gonna call it. I'm honestly really happy with the way this one turned out. I just really like it. Going into the bathroom, I just like the way the color scheme turned out. I know this one's got a little rosy and kind of pink color, but it's fine. It's fine. Into our downstairs bedroom. Okay, so we've got our small little downstairs bedroom. Just a small little practical bedroom. And then we head upstairs, and I did add a little nod to the stairwells on the stairs here with the pictures. But going inside, we've got a fairly big bathroom upstairs with just a tub shower combo. Keeping with the same kind of color scheme. This one's definitely a little more red than downstairs. And then going into the first bedroom up here, it's definitely more of a classier room. Got some fancy bed and chandelier, closet, vanity versus a desk. And then we go into the more sporty room. This is definitely, to me, like a Quidditch type player room with just the color scheme, the bed. It's the university style. Could have probably added a few more skill items, but I just left it as is. Next, we've just got one of those canopy beds again and a little desk. And then here we've got the double bed with a nice marble desk and robe and witch hat off to the side, and gave them a little dartboard just for some fun since this was a little bit bigger room. And that completes the Gryffindor house. Out on the balcony we do have a telescope, the nectar making, and an easel for a few more skill items for that house. But here we are with Gryffindor. Next, we go into the Hufflepuff house, and I just feel like this one is so homey and quaint. It's just nice and simple. There's nothing crazy about it. I like that we have the greenhouse out to the side, a little gaming area, and just some plants sprinkled here and there with our little animal enclosure there. And then a fairly elegant bathroom for being just a small little downstairs bathroom, but I like it. And then heading upstairs, we've got our bubble machine, the foosball table, in the main living area with a yoga mat. And then into, which is also kind of a smaller bathroom, but keeping with kind of the elegant theme. It's definitely different than downstairs, but still very functional with just a shower. And here we've got a little more of the, what's the word? Girly room. It's not quite as elegant as the Gryffindor one, but still just some nice touches. And then we go into this sportier-ish room. There's not quite as sporty as the Gryffindor one, but I still feel like this one's more on the basic side with just a basic dresser, mirror, desk. Just, it's simple. Here we've got our double bedroom. I really liked this wallpaper, but I did have to end up using a smaller desk and smaller wardrobe to fit in the room because it was a little bit smaller. This room is also on the more elegant side. We have the meditation pillow. We added the plants. And it's just a cozy vibe overall in all of these rooms. So here is Hufflepuff, and I hope you enjoyed this, and let me know which one you like best.